Hi, I'm Bruce Dunlap. Just wanted to take a real quick second to um, address all of the agents at our Central Oregon KW office in that Roland White has resigned and today was his last day. So I'm taking over as the managing principal broker. So kind of effective today, anytime you're writing a transaction, a listing or a purchase agreement, if you put down my name as the managing principal broker. But but also an important part of this um, talk is I wanted to take an opportunity to tell all the agents a little bit about what we think is going to happen next. Because obviously our market has changed. Our economy has switched up a bit when a lot of things have been shut down, and we are going to come back. And how we react to our customers is going to determine the market share that we pull together. So in a little bit of this, Holly and I were just going to talk a little bit about what type of things we should be expecting next.
Good morning and welcome to another beautiful Friday in Central Oregon where hopefully you guys are able to get outside and not just be stuck indoors. So what Bruce and I wanted to talk about is where the market is going and how we can best capture the market share for quarters 2, 3, and 4. So first thing let's talk about is where are our buyers coming from and why are they moving? So right now we have kind of two different categories. Obviously, we still have first-time home buyers. Second, we have the people that are looking to trade equity, sell one house, go buy a bigger house, or maybe even downsize to a smaller one. And the next, I guess, category of buyers right now is the people that are looking to lower their overhead. So Bruce, tell us about that.
Well, in the first quarter of this year, a buyer that went out into the marketplace normally was spending about 27 to 31% of their income for their mortgage payment when they bought a new house. Well, with the interest rates coming down, suddenly they have the ability to use about between 15 and 20% of their income. So they either have that opportunity to lower their cost of their payments or raise the quality and the height of the home that they're getting. When our market comes back, there's a pent-up demand of listings, and we're going to take a run on that very, very fast. So it's one of those things when we're all looking at anybody that has that listing, and when you control the listings, you control the market, as Wendy used to always say. And there is going to be that ability for a buyer to buy more home.
Okay. So when we look at that right now, let's talk about how we're going to capture those buyers and sellers. So the first thing that comes to mind right now is we're stuck in our offices or people are stuck in their homes. And what is our major form of communication? Video, which we're trying right now for the first time. And the second thing is the telephone. So Bruce, how many phone calls are you making a day?
Well, probably for the last 20 years, I just have a habit, and the first thing I do in the morning is I sit down and I write up two lists. One is everything, all my action items of what I'm going to try to accomplish. And then on another piece of paper is my call list. On an average day, it runs between 20 to 40 people. And I've been doing this for 20 or 30 years. I know that sounds like a lot of names and numbers, but it's a habit that once you learn and once you develop, you stick with it. My son always came up with a comment. We all have a habit of brushing our teeth, and we wouldn't think of not brushing our teeth. I have a habit of making 20 to 40 phone calls a day, and I wouldn't think of not doing that. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm doing the number of transactions that I'm doing. But it's a habit that one develops.
Okay, so why are you calling them? Besides just normal business, like how can we reach out to buyers that are on the fence, buyers that are sitting at home, sellers that are wondering what is happening to their listings, and people that are looking to list in the next 3 to 6 months? What are some good reasons to call them?
Usually that list that I'm doing, I'm reaching out and I'm looking for an opportunity to get an appointment or set something or get some information that causes their transaction to move forward. In this situation, there's a topic out there that everybody has something to say about relative to our coronavirus. And you can talk about what's going to happen and why is it going to change. The biggest thing that any of these buyers and sellers want to know is what comes next. And if you can tell them a few options of what that is, you're going to make them feel better and you're going to make them more confident going forward and trying to do a transaction. So what comes next is you say, what is it going to take to get our market totally back to normal? Well, I know that the biggest answer is we have to have a vaccine that makes everybody amenable to this virus. Well, that's going to take quite a few years. So the new normal will be the social distancing, and we'll be doing things different. We'll be doing a lot more of these video talks for one thing.
All right. So if we look at just the civil duty of being a realtor and how we interact with our clients, a real easy way to reach out to them is just to call them and say, hey, I'm just checking in on you. Is there anything I can do to help you? As realtors, we are not bound to the, what do they call it? In-home.
We're an essential service.
Yeah, we're still an essential service, even if we can just call out and be their friend for a day, or deliver them water or toilet paper or whatever that might be. But the second part of that is creating the opportunity to ask them if there's anyone they know in their circle that we can offer real estate advice to, because everybody wants to know what is going to happen to the market. So as a builder, I know Bruce has his opinions on where we're going. Construction has not stopped. We are still moving forward with that. I was fortunate enough to spend past week with some top mortgage brokers in the country, and then have a few new clients that are in the mortgage industry. And they kind of passed on their 2 cents on where their corporations feel the market is going. So you can offer some historical facts. So Q1, obviously, even for our office, was record sales. People are moving and shaking. Things were happening. But now to Q2, we are starting off with finishing up the deals that were in place. Q3, they're expecting to be recovery. And that's, of course, all dependent on government and when people are getting back into the workforce. And then Q4, as long as our mortgage rates stay as low as they have been, we are looking at being just as busy, if not busier, than we were previously. And why is that? Mortgage rates, and then everybody that needed to move, their rental maybe put on the market, or they need to make a move, or they're looking to make that move before the mortgage rates change. And whoever has control of the inventory, like Bruce mentioned, is going to win. So I would say, as a challenge to you guys, how many listing appointments are you scheduling each week, and how are you making those changes? So of course, we've talked about social distancing and the things that we can do. And in the meeting on Monday, everyone did a great job of sharing ideas to stay safe and make our buyers and sellers feel more comfortable with latex gloves and booties and all those fun things, and hand sanitizer. But that's not going to change going forward. We're going to be making big changes in the way we do business. Our marketing is going to change. And, Bruce had a really great example of how things changed in the industries post 9/11. So why don't you share that?
Well, it brings up 2 things. One, at 9/11, prior to that, we really didn't have a TSA. We didn't have the long lines when we go to the airport. But right now, you wouldn't even think of going to the airport if we didn't have those items. So it was a mindset of change that we went through, and it became the new normal. So I say the new normal quite a bit on that part, because we all adapt to it. How we conduct business going forward, we know is going to be different, and it's up to each one of us to implement that and make things happen.
So I think later today we'll take an opportunity to do a second video and really talk about different changes that we can make in the way we market properties and the ways that we present properties to buyers. I myself have been doing a ton of research on Zoom and Microsoft Teams and ways I can do screen sharing and be able to walk buyers through properties without ever being in front of them physically. And, on a marketing standpoint, we really have to be looking at a lot more video, a lot more floor plan walkthroughs, things like that. So if everybody's excited about that, like I am, maybe we can do a live meeting later today or even next week But I would really like to delve into that so that as we go back into the market in this recovery period, so that KW has, the best foot forward, and we are ahead of the game as far as our marketing goes, so that we can capture more of those sellers, because we know if we have the sellers, we have the listings, we get the buyers. So I am looking forward to a little bit of a change, definitely a challenge. Anything else, Bruce?
Well, I think two things. As we go forward, there's going to be just as many transactions and a lot fewer agents that are going to do those transactions. And that opportunity doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who attack it. And that's what our message is to here today, is take this time to look at as many videos that you can that are educational and motivational, and reach out to your customers and talk to them as best you can. And with that, I hope you have a very good day, and we'll be doing many more of these.
Thanks.
Have a good day.